so the brakes arrived, brake rotors and the brake pads arrived for my 2007 Dodge Ram 1500. So we're going to be installing them, and I'll walk you through it. All right, so today, now we're going to be removing the caliper. This is the front passenger side, replacing the rotors and the brake pads. We'll start off with a 13mm wrench, and I also got my C-clamp ready to compress the clamp back in there. A flathead is always good and helpful to help pry the caliper off sometimes, and to grease up the lighting pins. So the only thing I don't think I have any brake cleaner, but we'll see, because the new brake pads, you want to be able to clean all of that that oil they put on there, that shipping oil, off of there. These are usually pretty easy to get off. They're not really torqued down all that hard. And screw number 1 and screw number 2. This right here will just be to remove the there we go, the brake caliper, not the bracket yet. So once those 2 bolts are out, you should be able to now take off the caliper. I'm going to grab a bungee cord, because once I remove it, just grab a quick bungee cord, because once I remove it, while we're working on the getting the rotor off, I want to have this out of the way. So, and the reason I'm changing my rotors is because whenever I brake, I feel that pulsing in the brake pedal, letting me know, on the brake pedal, bit in the steering wheel, letting me know that these are probably warped. Yeah, so they're a little harder to get off. Sometimes they just pop off. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to compress the pistons that are on the brake pad back, that's behind the brake pad, back a little bit. So I'm sticking my my screwdriver in here, and I'm wedging it up into the to the rotor, and I'm just pulling the caliper over enough to be able to start compressing back that those pistons. All right, let's see if that works. There we go, it worked. So do that, because you force them off, you're risking breaking these right here. So these 2 are what I was pushing back, these pistons right here. We're going to compress them more before we put our new brake pads on. But for now, I'll just string it up out of the way. I'll put it back here, and for safety reasons, I'll put that on there to hold them up. So now you take the old pads off. At some point in time, newer pads were put on. You can see there's a lot of meat on here, but they kept the old rotors on, and so if you got warped rotors, new pads isn't going to do anything for that. So I'll replace the pads and there. So now we have to take this bracket off right here in order to get the rotor off. All right, so now I have my 13/16. I'm going to use the closed end to help get this off. There are only 2 bolts back there. They can be difficult, and I don't have my sledgehammer with me, so in case it's needed, I broke over my my monkey wrench if I need to pound away at it any. So I'll try first to see if I can do it without. Sometimes you don't, but a lot of times these things require a lot of effort, and I think this is going to be one of them. So I'm just going to put that on there, and this is an old one, by the way, so back when they made them to last. There we go. See that? And now I can get in there by hand. And turn it. And so I won't remove it all the way yet. I'll just get it partial way out because I want to be able to use it to hold the top part up while I loosen up the bottom. And I'm going to just try it by hand first before bringing out the big guns. Yeah, that was enough to let me know to go ahead and use it. And let's see here, I'll put that right there and I'll hit it. Slipped out of there. There we go, starting to get a little movement. Would have been off already if I had my sledgehammer, but I have it over at one of my properties. I think that would have been it. Let's see. Not quite. I'll put it down here. I'll hit it from down here. There we go. All right, much easier. Alright, one bolt out. Now it's time to take the other bolt out. The whole kit for 4 rotors front and back and 4 ceramic brake pads, or the whole set for front and rear ceramic brake pads for this cost me $170. I used the same company for a few years off of eBay for multiple of my cars, performance cars as well. I usually get the drill and slot it, but this time I just went with this one because the drill and slot it was more than I was willing to pay for this truck. And but only $170, and they do a good job. All right, so that's off. Here's the bracket. Now we'll get it all set up and ready to remove this right here. Sometimes they come off right away. Sometimes you need a little bit of persuasion. Let's see what happens. Whew, I wish I had my 5-pound sledgehammer with me. Normally I would have had this off in like a second. But it took a lot of beating to get it off, but finally broke the rust. Remember, I'm in the rust belt, so we have a lot of that here. So it took a lot of beating, but finally got it off. Look at that thing. Look at that. That should have never been on the road. Alright, so I got my NTCs here. So to help out with future work, I'll put some of that on there now to help make sure that it's not as bad next time in the future, as much as I can. Alright. Alright, got that on. Now it's time to put the bracket back on. I'll take the 2 bolts here. Just throw a little bit of NTCs on there just to help out for future. And before I even put those on, this is probably the best position to do it. So these are the guiding pins. You see how this one moves in and out? That means it's still good. It's greased up. This one, however, though, isn't moving at all, and it may not. So I may have to get another, well, if it seized in there, I will have to get another bracket. Alright, so I tried to unseize this one, but it's solid. So I'm going to have to order a new one of these. I'm going to go ahead and put the brakes, finish the brake job, but I'm going to have to replace this whole bracket simply because the previous owner didn't regularly grease these, especially when you live in the salt belt. So yearly, I just go in and pull the guides out and grease them up even when I'm not changing the brake pads on my car. This right here was pretty dry, but was enough up in there to keep it from seizing up. All you need to do is just yearly get down here, easy job, go in there, put some lubricant on there, and then put it back in the boot. Just turn it around a bit just to make sure to lube it all up in there. Move it back and forth. Close the boot back up on there, and that'll save you a lot of money just by doing that one small little thing. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and put this on here. Bolt number 1. And then bolt number 2. Alright, so before putting the pads on, I'll just clean off the glides where the little tracks that the brakes are going to. Should have did this before putting it on the whatchamacallit, but honestly I forgot. And they're really not all that bad. They're pretty nice. Usually you'll get a little plate that you can put on those, but not on these. So, but what I will do, I will take a little bit of the lubricant here, and I'll just do a little bit of grease down there on each one of them. Alright. There we go. And then the brake pads, they're all exactly the same, all 4. So it doesn't matter which one. So I'll take the first one, make sure not to put them on backwards. Pad side touches the rotor. On the old ones they have these early squeak things on there. So I'm gonna see if I can just transfer them on over to these right here. These didn't come with them. Nothing in the box. So, but I'll transfer them over onto here and use them. Alright. So I'll put these on. So it's going to go in there like that. You don't want this towards the rotor. You want it towards the back. And then where's that other one? There was one more laying around here somewhere. Let's see here. Where's the old rotor? It's probably on there somewhere. There's the old rotor. Let's see here. Of course, it's vanished on me. Here it is. And so I'll put it on there like that as well. So you see it. Alright. So these will be on the back almost to push them away from the brake pads, from the rotor. So these won't go in between the clip. They'll be behind there. So they won't go under the clip like that. They won't go underneath the clip. They're going to stay in the back. So I'm going to be able to put them on. So now I'm going to go up and I'm going to open up the brake reservoir, the brake fluid reservoir, because I'm going to compress the so I'm opening that. up underneath the hood. So basically when you compress these in, what it does, the fluid that's in the line, here, let me raise this up a bit. When you press these down, the fluids that are in the line pushes back into the reservoir. So I open up the cap in case it overflows, and also too it's a closed system, so you want to be able to let the air that's in the bottle escape. So I usually just take an old pad, put it on there, then I take my vice grip, my C-clamp, make sure it's open. They make easier tools for this, but I've been using C-clamps since I was a kid, so I guess I'm just used to it. So put it on there, and so, and then just press it in. You want it back flat, that way it can accommodate the thickness of the new pad. Sometimes they go real easy, sometimes they can be a bit difficult. Alright, I think I got one side went in a little further than the other, so I'm going to move this over to the other side that is still kind of sticking out, and then I'm going to force that in. Alright, I looked on the other side. Now that one is still out a little bit, so I'm going to come back towards that side. I was hoping just being in the middle would do it, but not quite. But you just want to make sure to get it all the way in, otherwise you'll find yourself not being able to get your pads on. Alright, I'm hoping that's in far enough. Usually, sometimes they go really deep in there, but these things will be sticking right there. So I'm going to hope that's far enough. We'll find out in just a moment. I'll take that back off. Bring it back down. I will take this and we'll see if it goes on. Yep, went on no problem. So now I'll take the two screws, put those back in there. Two screws, with two bolts. Alright, so that's it in a nutshell, changing the brakes. The exact same thing on the other side, so I'm not going to go through a how-to for the other side when it's a mirror image of this side. Whatever you did over here is what you're going to have to do over there. I hope you guys enjoyed. I hope you guys, I hope it showed you something. And if you like, hit the like button, and also hit over there on that subscribe. Not only the subscribe button, but I also have the other channels, other YouTubes out there. So go ahead and subscribe and catch some of my others. All right, like button, subscribe. All right.